Have you ever walked around on a really hot sunny day? You know, when it's in the middle of summer. So just imagine, it's in the height of summer, you've got your shades on, you're wearing a t-shirt, everything's slowed down, everything's nice and hot and relaxed. And have you ever walked around and thought, oh God, I wonder what the winter's going to feel like? I wonder what it's going to feel like to feel cold. Wouldn't it be awful if it was really cold right now? Or if it's been a really cold day and you're walking around and you've got, you're freezing and you're hunched up and you've got your coat and your gloves and your scarf and your hat and your hood and you're walking around and you're like, oh damn, I can remember that really hot summer from 3 years ago. It doesn't happen, does it? Have you ever noticed that when you're in the middle of that season, you can't remember what the other seasons are like? I always find this really weird and funny. Like sometimes I'll be walking around in the summer on a really hot day and I'll just be kind of being in the moment and just soaking up that atmosphere and the sunshine, and everyone's got a smile on their face. Everything's just a bit happier, a bit sunnier. And I'll try to remember what it was like 2 days ago when it was really cold, because in this country, in Britain, in the UK, we get such weird weather. We can be wearing a t-shirt one day and then it's snowing the next day, and we just never know what to wear, and it's the biggest topic of conversation in this country. It's like, oh, look at what the weather's doing. What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? Because it's just up and down, raining one day, hot the next, 2 degrees one day, 15 degrees the next, up, down, up, down. So I wanted to make this video called Life is Like the Seasons, because I think it's a good analogy for life. And Jim Rohn talked about this. I read it in some of his books and on some of his audios. And he talked about life and business being like the seasons. And I think it's something worth really keeping in mind, that so when you're going through, let's say you have a little period in your life where everything seems perfect. Okay, everything's just going right. You're feeling content. You're not afraid. Everything's just going down the right path. Everything's flowing. You're not having to push for anything. Well, when you're in that, let's call it the summer phase, you can't remember what it's like to be stressed or for things to go wrong. And then when things go wrong again, as they always do, because it's a part of life, things happen, but then when things go wrong, we don't remember. We don't think back and think, oh yeah, this is the winter now. We just kind of get absorbed in the moment and we assume that's how it's going to stay. And I think it's the same. I think it's particularly the case when things are going really, things might be going rough in your life. You might be having some health problems, maybe relationship problems, and maybe financial problems, which of course are really, really stressful, because I think when you're having stress with finances, I think it can cast a shadow over everything else. It can cast a shadow over your security, what you can afford to do, what you can't afford to do, your hobbies, your lifestyle. So so when you're going through those difficult phases, it can be really, really hard to remember that life is an ebb and a flow. It's like the seasons. We get spring, things are going good. We get summer, things are amazing. Things are growing. We've got autumn, things are starting to die off a bit. Maybe things are ending. We've got winter, things are a bit barren, a bit cold. And then you're back into spring. So just worth keeping in mind and maybe having an awareness, because I think awareness is key. Look at your life right now in this moment as you're watching this video and just think, where am I now? Where would I say my life is now if I had to pick a season? Me personally, it's a really weird one, because I'm having some stresses, medical stresses, probably health medical stresses are kind of putting a big shadow over everything, because when you're exhausted and fatigued, it affects moods and all kinds of things. But I've trained myself to have gratitude every day and to get the best out of every day, even if I'm struggling. So I feel very blessed and very lucky despite having these health worries. So I would put myself maybe in a spring, because it feels like a time of change and a time of growing, Where would you say you are right now? Would you say you're in a summer? You know, you're in a peak? Are you going up or are you coming down? It's worth keeping that in mind. Just have that little awareness. When things are going well in your life, you could say to yourself, oh, I'm in a summer, I'm in a peak. And then when things are going crap, you know, when everything feels like it's going wrong, and it can happen in one day, you know, one day where lots of things go really wrong, and you can feel like you're having a winter day, but then the next day is always different, it's always better. And there's always positives, there's always opportunities, but you've got to sort of try and get yourself out there. It's very easy to hibernate in the winter and do nothing, but I think it's really important to be sowing seeds, and that could be researching, seeking out inspiration, reaching out, talking to your friends, going out doing fun things, doing something different. Still keep the wheel turning, because then amazing things will happen. So next time you're in a winter, things are going really bad. Trust me, I've had those days. I've had those days very, very recently. But still tell yourself, okay, this is a winter. Just have an awareness. This is a winter. And it's not going to be like this forever. We're going to come into a spring, come into a summer. You know, things are always changing, always evolving. Just remember, life is like the seasons, life is like the tides, ebb and flow, up and down. Nothing's like this, is it? Life doesn't just do that. Life goes up, down. The same with moods, the same with emotions. No person, no normal person is like that. Completely, you know, just the same neutral emotion. Everyone has peaks and troughs, and it's just the way life is. So let me know in the comments box, where are you right now? Are you in a spring? A time of maybe scary things and changes, but excitement at the same time? Are you in a winter? Things are going a bit wrong, but you've got summer to look forward to. You know, spring to look forward to. Let me know where you are right now. It'd be great to share. Thanks for watching. Leave a like. Please subscribe. Share with your friends if you like my ideas and you want to share my ideas with other people. These are just my ramblings. I just set myself a little goal because a successful friend said to me, he said, you should be a YouTube coach, and he said, just make one video a day. And don't worry about the views. Just make a video a day for a year and see what happens. And I'm so blessed to be on this journey. It's been so amazing. So thanks you guys, everyone who's watching, everyone who's commenting and getting involved and liking and sharing. And I really, really appreciate it. I shall do a little celebration video very soon. Say thank you to everybody for all your support. I will catch you very soon in another video. Cheers, everybody.